There's some update news coming out of Pittsburgh, as the Steelers have announced the signing of a defense tackle. And that defense tackle is Esezi Otomewo. They've agreed to a 1-year contract with him. But first, before I get more into his introduction to the team and who he is and where he's come from, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news and updates. Also like this video. Now, let's get right back into it. So, Esezi Otomewo has agreed to a 1-year contract with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Throughout the video, I'll be calling him Otto. So, you look at the signing of Otto, and it gives the Pittsburgh Steelers depth. It's a player with untapped potential, someone who hasn't played in that many games in his career, but someone who can be a wrecking ball if given the opportunity. And he comes to the Pittsburgh Steelers as a depth piece, someone who will compete in camp, compete in the preseason to try to fight their way onto this roster. So this signing of Otto is the third defensive tackle signing in the past few days. The Pittsburgh Steelers signed Daniel to a contract. They also re-signed Isaiah Loudermilk. I'll get more into that in a different video. But now Otto as well comes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So looking at his introduction and who he is as a player, where he's come from, and everything like that, to give you an idea of what he brings to the table. Let's get right into it. So, looking at Otto, he's a player who was drafted in the 5th round by the Minnesota Vikings in the 2022 draft. Otto has appeared in 9 NFL games with 2 starts. In 2024, he appeared in 4 games with the Jacksonville Jaguars, making both those starts and recorded 4 tackles with a pair of QB hits. He logged at least 20 defensive snaps in Week 2 against the Cleveland Browns, Week 5 versus the Indianapolis Colts, and Week 6 against the Chicago Bears. After being waived by the Minnesota Vikings, he spent the 2023 season on the Jaguars practice squad before seeing game day action in 2024 this past season. Looking at Otto in his rookie season with the Vikings, he played in 5 games with 5 tackles, and over his entire career, he's logged 179 defensive snaps in total, and another 88 on special teams. So, Otto's snaps have come in the B gap and are lined up in different gaps. So I'm going to just go through where he's played, where he's lined up over the course of his career. So in the A gap, he's played 2 snaps in total throughout his entire career. 2. In the B gap, he played 140 snaps. That's a lot. That's the most he's played in any alignment. At the OVT position, he's played in 26 snaps. OUT position, he's played 11 snaps. So, Otto, he lines up mainly in the B gap. When you look at his limited action in 2024, Pro Football Focus graded him far better as a pass rusher, 28th, than run defender, 212th. His overall grade ranked 171st of 219 total defensive linemen. So, coming out of Minnesota, Esezi Otomewo checked in at 6'5", 282 pounds, with 34.5-inch arms. He showed off his athleticism with a 5.01 40-yard dash time and 35.5-inch vertical jump, and a 9.4-inch broad jump. In college, he recorded 81 tackles, 14 tackles for loss, 7.5 sacks, and this was from 2018 to 2021. So, Otomewo is a 3rd defense lineman to sign or re-sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers, like I said, since Sunday, this past week. So, the team signed former New England Patriot Daniel Echols and brought back Isaiah Loudermilk, like I said, after 4 years with the team. All 3 will kind of give the Pittsburgh Steelers depth, and this specific signing of Otto, it comes as a player who more than likely will have to fight his way onto this roster. He's not going to be given any opportunity. He's going to have to earn his way, especially with his limited time action in the NFL. He's going to have to work his way onto this team, and he's probably at a disadvantage compared to all those other guys I just named, based off his playing time. But he's a player with untapped potential. He hasn't really shown or proved anything in this league, but based off his college, his film has been good. So, looking at Otto, he comes in here, and Cameron Hayward, Keanu Benton are the main guys, and everyone after that are going to have to work their way onto the roster. So he's going to have a fighting chance just like anyone else. But the reason why I'm saying this signing is a depth piece is because of the players the Pittsburgh Steelers already have on the roster. And you basically know who the guys are. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are trying to add to this defense line group within the last few days and in the draft as well, and probably more in free agency because they're getting older at that position. And they're losing out on some guys as well. Larry Ogunjobi just got cut, so the Pittsburgh Steelers are trying to replace some of that depth. But also Cameron Hayward's getting up there in age, and they're going to need to get some depth pieces behind him to give him some time off sometimes and plays off. So the Pittsburgh Steelers, this doesn't stop them from going out and drafting a player high in the draft in maybe round 1 or round 3 early on, a defense lineman. This doesn't stop them. The Steelers can still add depth pieces, but then still add top-end talent in the draft as well. This doesn't stop them from doing that, but this signing is a depth piece. It's nothing more than that. It's not someone who's going to come in and be this best player on the defense line, a starter on the defense line. Can he work his way into that? Hopefully he can. Hopefully he can prove something. Hopefully he can have a breakout season and actually get playing time and show out. Sure, that would be the best. But the worst case scenario is that he's a depth piece and someone who ends up making this practice squad. So he comes into the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that's his role on the team, and that's his introduction to you. So, just being completely brutally honest about the Pittsburgh Steelers defense line right here, because on paper right now, it just doesn't look good. To end the season this past year, the Steelers couldn't stop anyone on the run game. Teams were just running all over them. And it's not going to get any better. The Pittsburgh Steelers lose Larry Ogunjobi, who's a solid run defender and just player in general. And the Pittsburgh Steelers really didn't add anyone of top-end talent. The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to give more opportunity to Keanu Benton, but Cameron Hayward's also getting a year older. So they have some top-end guys like Cameron Hayward and Keanu Benton who are really good still. But behind them, they really don't have anyone who's a top-tier player. They have rotational depth pieces who are veterans in this league. They have some rotational depth pieces who are younger in this league, but none of these guys have shown out to be a top-tier backup or a top-tier person who can step into a starting position if someone else gets injured. So the Pittsburgh Steelers are relying on these guys, their top-end guys, to stay healthy, or else this defense line is not going to look good. And right now, they need to start adding to these guys and these groups based off of free agency and the draft. Because if it goes into the season how it is right now, the Steelers' defense line is going to finish the same way that they started and finished last year, which was not good. So the Pittsburgh Steelers defense line, yes, they could keep adding these guys like Otto, Daniel, and re-sign Isaiah Loudermilk, but they need to start signing and drafting these top-end talents and get better on the defensive line. It has gone bad the last 2 years to end the season because they get worn down, their top guys get worn down, and then they have no one else to step up. And the same thing's going to happen this season because the depth at that position, yes, you could add depth like Otto, but you need to add top-end depth. And that's what the Pittsburgh Steelers haven't addressed yet. So that's just being brutally honest about the Steelers' defense line position. But in terms of late round depth, in terms of the later guys on this roster, Otto is a good pickup, and this was his introduction to you. I believe he can fight his way onto this team, and if he shows flashes like he's shown in college, then he'll have a good shot. But he needs to show those flashes, and he needs to step up and prove himself big time. Anyway, this was his introduction. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below about the signing of Otto to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Do you like it? Do you not like it? What do you think his role is going to be on this team? Do you think he'll even make this roster? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below about this addition and his film and his highlights. I'll get more into his analysis and highlights in a different video and give the breakdown to you there. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below about this addition. And do you think there's anyone else in the Pittsburgh Steelers free agency dreams that they could go out and sign? Do you want them to sign someone else in free agency? And who would it be? And let me know your thoughts in the comments below about the draft. Do you want them to draft defense line round 1 or go a different route? So, also make sure you subscribe to this channel and turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news, updates, highlights, analysis reports. everything surrounding the Pittsburgh Steelers. So this free agency period, I've covered it. Every new edition has been covered. Go ahead and check them out on that channel. And every new edition as well, I'll be covering it. So make sure you stay tuned for everything Pittsburgh Steelers coverage, including all the news and rumors as well. So like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications to this channel. And until the next video, I'll see you guys all later. I'm out. Peace.